Hey Internet, so if you're wondering why I'm using a webcam, it's because I don't have a tripod and the one camera that I have requires me to hold it like this. And it is pretty unreliable, to be honest, when it comes to being able to tell what light is coming from where, and I end up looking pink or blue and it looks disgusting. Also, I am just too lazy to charge the battery right now. So, I have sort of wanted to do this review of Mass Effect 3 for a while, but, you know, I have my own opinions, and I know that nobody else will really share my opinions, because I think that indoctrination theory is a bunch of bullshit, and I can probably disprove a lot of it and point out many flaws, like the fact that if this is all just in Shepard's head, especially... like, it's just... It would be a huge fuck you if that was the real ending. If indoctrination theory was the real ending, I would feel completely betrayed. But I already feel betrayed by BioWare anyway. But they've sort of redeemed themselves with the Citadel DLC. Now, I'm going to stress this. I'm going to stress this a lot. It is completely worth $15, or $16.29 if you are buying it on Origin. The reason why I say that is because they have tax. It's completely worth that amount of money, and they even give you a weapon from the first game. Now, I know what you're thinking, but, Lewis, they have all the weapons from the first game, and more. Well, oops, excuse me. Oh, well, they don't. They have weapons that look like it. Sure, the Avenger was there and stuff, but the Lancer wasn't. The Lancer was one of the only... It was an assault rifle that looked like the Avenger, but it just never, for some reason, came over into the later games. And the reason why, apparently, is because they were holding it off. Because in the first game, you wouldn't have thermal clips. I almost said thermo clips. It's not the name. And... you would just fire, and then it would overheat, and then you would wait for it to be not overheating, and then it would be done. So what they did is that they just put the Lancer in the DLC. So now you have a gun with unlimited ammo, but it can overheat. So the reload time will actually be quite a lot if you let it overheat. And it's really great. I love almost everything about the DLC. I'm not going to spoil it because I'm getting better at not spoiling things. But it really is just... It's so great, except for that one thing. The bad guy! The bad guy! I don't enjoy the bad guy. It's like they said, well, we run out of ideas, so let's just have this. Although it is quite satisfying for some reason, where the boss battle is you fighting the bad guy. If you play the game, you know why I'm emphasizing on the bad guy and why it's so satisfying. So yeah, I mean, there's that. There's also the party that you throw afterwards, which I'm sure many people have seen videos of, including Grunt and Rex just saying Shepard to Shepard in many different ways, including Shepard. Like, they're making their own dubstep remix. It's great. It's absolutely great. And then, if you have Ashley, which I don't, I'm going to explain something. I have 3 different ways that I play. I have 3 different playthroughs. One completely Paragon, one completely Renegade, and one where I just do whatever I want. And in the game where I did whatever I want, I said, I'm going to save Cade instead of Ashley. Alright? Because Ashley's annoying to me. But if you have Ashley, there's a great moment where you're at the bar and you're having a drinking contest with Ashley, and a Batarian shows up, points to a Volus that's behind him and says basically something along the lines, "My friend doesn't like you." Which, if you've watched the original Star Wars, it is probably the most iconic bar scene, I think, in any sci-fi film ever. "I don't like you either." He actually says, I don't like alliance types. Or he says, my friend doesn't like alliance types. I don't like alliance types either. I assume because of copywriting with Disney and whatnot. And they had Zaid in there, which is nice because, you know, Zaid's voice actor died very recently. And, you know, it's sort of like a memorial to him a little bit because he's just same old Zaid, but really hilarious. Like, if you don't have Rex or Miranda for the party, him and Javik just, like, crouch behind the couch and like fake shoot each other, and it's like it's so adorable and stuff. So yeah, I say buy it. It's one of the best DLCs that I've seen for Mass Effect. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a lot of like, I don't know. Okay, so this is how freaking I knew who the bad guy was from something I saw during a playthrough, and it's very obvious apparently if you have a female character. But when the bad guy first shows up on the screen and he has the, you know, ID scrambler, you can kind of tell who he is, or at least you get an idea of who he is if you think, wait a minute, this is a sci-fi series, and they haven't dabbled in everything yet. So yeah, I mean, this is great for a final DLC. Actually, if it was a part of the game, I would say that this is a really stupid part of the game, but it's not. It's the final thing of this series, and I think it's a good send-off to all of the fans of the trilogy, and allowing them to, you know, make way for the new trilogy. I actually sort of have thoughts about the new trilogy that I'm probably not going to buy it. Not because of how badly designed the end of Mass Effect 3 was, because, I mean, come on, that's just lazy, not really anything else. It's more of the fact that the two people that were the good writers, the main people of BioWare, left. They retired at like the age of 50 or something. Like, they looked like they were 40 or 30. I don't know. They retired early, let's just say. And it sort of shows that they retired. I mean, the animation looks better, but the writing is lacking, which has sort of always been the thing with Mass Effect. I'm actually surprised about how many people rant about how bad the Mass Effect 3 is and how they redo everything. And it's like, well, have you played the first game? Literally, they just use the same map design for every little thing. Like, dear God, it's the same map design, same color palette, same props, everywhere. And hell, the fucking armor was the same, just different colors. Like, you can't blame them for just being the same way that they've always been. So yeah, I guess overall, if you could possibly get Mass Effect 3 with all of the DLC, it's one of those games that it really helps if you've completed the first two games completely. For example, if the completionist were to do a review, I would believe that he would say complete it for the first two, but then complete it for the last one, because there is a benefit to completing the game in the third one, because you get all these memorable scenes and stuff, and you know, it increases your ability to take down the Reapers and whatnot. And yeah, I mean, no matter what you pick, it's just a wise move to complete a BioWare game all the way through, all the side missions, everything. Even talking to freaking what's his name? It's the guy, the fanboy of you who pretends to be you in the second one, and then everyone's just like, you're not fucking Commander Shepard. He returns in the third one, depending on what you do, in the second one. Conrad Werner, that's his name, and he's a doctor. He's Dr. Conrad Werner. I'm going to say goodbye to the series. I'm probably not going to go into the next series. I'm just... Bye. Bye, BioWare.